Reciprocity Theorem. So in this theorem, the statement says, in any given linear bilateral single source network, this is applicable only for a single source, okay? Single source network, the ratio of excitation to response will remain unchanged even if the position of the excitation and response are interchanged. Now in a circuit, when I say excitation means it is something that drives the circuit. It is something that you force onto the circuit. Response means it is the outcome, okay? So say for example I consider this circuit. So in this circuit, the input is nothing but this voltage that you are providing, okay? So this voltage will be your excitation, okay? And response is nothing but the current that flows in the circuit, and in particular in this circuit, this is your response, the current I. Clear? So excitation means it is something that you force onto the circuit, and it could be the voltage, input voltage that you provide, and the response is the outcome of the excitation, that is in this case it is the current I. We are going to exchange the excitation and response and see the result. So when you exchange the excitation and response, the final result should not change. So if you look at this particular circuit, I have shown you what is the excitation and what is the response, right? So when I'm going to solve this circuit using mesh analysis, because the method that we will be using here is mesh analysis itself. So when I solve this circuit and obtain the result, say the ratio of excitation to response, in this case is excitation is represented as E and the response in this case is I, is E by I. So when I'm using or solving this numerical using mesh analysis, how do I do that? I will first identify the number of meshes that are present. So here it is mesh 1, mesh 2. So two individual meshes. I will mark the mesh currents, right? So this will be I1, this will be I2. So in this case, if you observe, the response that is there, that is current I, is in sync with the second mesh current I2. So I can write the equation for excitation to response as E divided by the current I2. Okay. So this is my case 1 for the figure A. Now the equation or the statement says that if you interchange the response and excitation, the result will not change. So what I'm going to do here in figure B is I'm just interchanging my excitation and response. So whatever excitation that I had on the left part of the circuit in the figure A, I'm moving that to the place of the response, and whatever response I had in the right hand side, I'm moving it to the place where the excitation existed. But you have to be careful here. When you are interchanging the excitation and the response, you should make sure that the polarity is retained of the original position. So initially if you observe, here excitation was plus minus and the response was minus plus, right? So in the figure B, when I interchange the response and excitation, I am keeping the polarity as it is. So the initial position was negative and positive here, so that is retained. So that is why I have connected the excitation in a similar manner. And here initially the excitation was plus minus, so when I connected the response, I have connected it in that same way. Okay, so if I have to compute the ratio of this, how do I solve this? Again using mesh analysis. So here this is the excitation and this is the response. Okay, So when I solve this using mesh analysis, I will identify the individual meshes and mark the mesh current. So this is I1 and this is the mesh current I2. So in this case, the mesh current I1 is in sync with the response I, right? So the ratio of excitation to response in this case is E by I1. So this is for the figure B. The statement says when you interchange the response and excitation, the result will not change. So the final result for the second case that you get will be same as that of the case A. Clear? Has everybody understood what we are doing? Has everyone understood? So any circuit that is given to you, first identify which is the excitation and which is the response. Interchange the excitation and the response, but make sure the polarity is not touched. Okay, polarity is retained as of that of the original position. Otherwise what happens is that result will come but the polarity will be opposite. So you want the polarity also to be the same, so that is why you should make sure that the polarity of the original position is retained. Question says you have to find the value of Ix, okay, Ix for the network shown using reciprocity theorem. Excitation is the voltage source, so this 8 volt is the excitation and the response is this Ix, okay. So in total you have 3 meshes, right? So try applying the mesh currents. So I will consider this as mesh 1, this as mesh 2 and this as mesh 3. Okay. So case 1, I will consider the circuit as it is. I am not going to change anything. I will consider the circuit as it is. So this will be the mesh current I1. This is the mesh current I2. This is the mesh current I3. So this is plus minus, plus minus, plus minus. Right? So this is plus minus, plus minus. So let me apply KVL. So before I apply KVL, because I need to differentiate between the two cases, I will name this current Ix as Ix1. Okay, so Ix is considered as Ix1 here for the case 1. Fine. So let me write or solve this by applying first KVL to the mesh 1. So when I apply KVL to mesh 1, this is going to be minus 20 I1 minus 8 I1 minus I2 minus 12 I1 minus I3 equal to 0. So this I can simplify and write this as minus 40 I1 plus 8 I2 plus 12 I3 equal to 0. So this is my first equation. On applying KVL to mesh 2, I get this as minus 10 I2 minus 7 I2 minus I3 minus 8 I2 minus I1 is equal to 0. So this is 8 times I1 minus 25 times I2 plus 7 times I3 equal to 0. This is the second equation. Next, apply KVL to mesh 3. So this is minus 12 times I3 minus I1 minus 7 times I3 minus I2 plus 8 is equal to 0. So on rewriting, 12I1 plus 7I2 minus 19I3 is equal to minus 8. So solve all these three equations. You have three linear equations with three unknowns, I1, I2 and I3. Solve this, find out how much is the value of I1 is 0.261 amps and I2 is 0.276 amps. Okay, what we want is Ix1, right? So this Ix1 is equal to, look at the direction of this current, it is in sync with the current I1. So Ix1 will be equal to I1 minus I2. So this value is 0.0149 or 15 amps. Okay. Next, once you compute Ix1, what we are supposed to do for case 2 is that we have to interchange the excitation and response. So wherever this voltage source was present now, that has to be replaced with this Ix, and wherever the current Ix was present, that has to be replaced with the voltage source. But make sure that the polarity is retained. Okay, so this was positive right here, positive, negative. This was negative, positive. So keep that same thing as it is and end. So we had seen previously in case 1, this was positive, negative, right? So that same thing has to be retained now. So this will now be marked like this, positive, negative. Arrow mark always will be positive, this is negative. So this I am going to consider it as Ix, and the voltage source, initially this was negative, positive, so that has to be retained. So this is negative, this is positive. What is the value? Value is 8 volt. Alright. Arrow mark, always for an arrow, when you have a current source, arrow mark is considered the positive, the tail is considered as a negative. Okay. Voltage source you can clearly identify because they will specify you the polarity, plus, minus, right? But for current source, it is negative will be your tail, positive will be the arrow mark. So in this problem, you had initially, for the case 1, we have not touched anything. So how was the polarity? Positive, negative here. And this current was negative, positive. So now when I am interchanging, original polarity has to be kept as it is. So this is plus minus means how will be the direction of the current Ix? That will be this way. Okay, pointing towards the left, right? So pointing towards the left, and this is minus plus. Now again you have to apply mesh analysis. So 3 meshes you have. This is M1, M2, this is M3. So case 2, I will consider Ix to be equal to Ix2. So name this as Ix2. Apply mesh analysis, write the 3 equations and get the result. So when you apply KVL to the first mesh, you get this as minus 20I1 minus 8 times I1 minus I2 minus 12 I1 minus I3 plus 8 is equal to 0. So I can rewrite this as minus 40 I1 plus 8 I2 plus 12 I3 is equal to minus 8. First equation. Apply KVL to the second mesh. So when I apply KVL to this mesh, this is going to be minus 10 I2 minus 7 I2 minus I3 minus 8 times I2 minus I1 minus 8 is equal to 0. So this is going to be 8 times I1 minus 25 times I2 plus 7 times I3 is equal to 8. Second equation. Last, apply KVL to mesh 3. So this is minus 12 times I3 minus I1 minus 7 times I3 minus I2 is equal to 0. This is plus 12 times I1 plus 7 times I2 minus 19 times I3 is equal to 0. So this would be your third equation. Now solve these three equations, and what is that is for more interest for us, it is only this particular current, that is the current I3. So when you solve these three equations, try to find out how much is the value of the current I3. Minus, yeah, minus 0.014, okay, amps. Ix2 and Ix3 is exactly the same, so that is equal to minus 0.014 amps. So if you observe, in the case 1 we got the value of Ix1 as 0.015 amps, okay, and the value of Ix2 is minus 0.014 amps. So finally case 1 Ix1 is equal to the case 2 Ix2.